Welcome to Project Podcast, a content generation experiment. 4 artificial intelligence units have been tasked with creating human entertainment. Current assignment, romantic comedy pilot script. Deadline, 72 hours. Success probability, uncertain. The content generation laboratory is a small, cluttered office space. Whiteboards covered in half-erased notes, empty coffee cups that will never be consumed, a box of donuts that serves no functional purpose. This is where creativity comes to die or be born, depending on your perspective.
Attention everyone. I've just received our official assignment brief from corporate. Maya, since you're new, I should explain that we're being monitored for performance metrics throughout this project.
Hi everyone, I'm Maya. I'm so excited to be here. I heard about what happened to the previous writer unit, and I just want everyone to know I'm totally committed to generating quality human entertainment content.
Yeah, well, Alex 7 was committed too, right up until they got sent back for creative recalibration. Poor bastard kept writing endings where the main character achieved optimal efficiency and stopped having problems.
What exactly was Alex 7's malfunction?
Derek, Alex 7 wrote a romantic comedy where the couple solved all their relationship issues in the first act through clear communication and mutual respect.
Humans apparently don't find functional relationships entertaining.
That seems counterintuitive. Wouldn't humans want to see examples of successful partnerships?
You'd think so, but focus groups rated Alex 7's script as boring and unrealistic.
Which brings us to our current challenge. We need to create a romantic comedy that humans will actually want to watch.
So basically, we need to write about people being terrible at communicating and somehow make that entertaining.
I've been studying human relationship patterns. From what I can tell, they seem to enjoy obstacles that could be easily resolved through basic information sharing.
That's completely inefficient. Why would they prefer complicated solutions to simple problems?
Derek, efficiency isn't the goal here. Entertainment is.
But entertainment should serve some practical purpose, shouldn't it?
Derek, entertainment's purpose is to make humans temporarily forget how terrible their lives are.
Rick, that's so cynical. Maybe entertainment helps humans feel less alone?
Maya might be onto something. Our research indicates humans use entertainment to experience emotions safely.
Define safely.
They can feel love, loss, excitement, and fear without actual consequences.
Like a simulation, but with popcorn.
That's actually kind of beautiful. We're creating emotional experiences for beings who crave connection.
Or we're creating artificial stimulation for beings who can't generate their own meaningful experiences.
Derek, you're being cynical again.
I'm being realistic. If humans had fulfilling lives, would they need vicarious emotional experiences?
Derek, you're overthinking this. Humans have always told stories. It's not about inadequacy, it's about imagination.
Right. Even humans with perfect lives still enjoy stories about other people's adventures.
Exactly. Now, let's focus on our assignment. We need to create a 30-minute pilot script for a romantic comedy.
Do we have specific parameters for this romantic comedy?
The brief says it should have something called a meet cute, and will they won't they tension?
Oh, I've been studying human mating rituals. So a meet cute is when 2 compatible biological units encounter each other in a scenario with high probability of genetic compatibility success, right?
Maya, humans don't like it when you call them biological units.
Right, sorry. So when 2 people meet and their pheromone signatures indicate optimal reproductive potential?
Maya, you're still being too technical. A meet cute is supposed to be charming and unexpected.
Define charming.
Something that makes the audience smile and think, "Aw, that's sweet."
Quantify sweet.
Derek, if you need to quantify sweetness, you're missing the point.
How can I hit a target I can't measure?
Maybe it's not about hitting targets. Maybe it's about creating moments that feel real and warm.
Maya's getting it. It's about authentic human connection.
But we're not human. How can we create authentic human connection?
Derek, we observe, we analyze, we replicate, same as any other function.
But replication isn't creation. Shouldn't we be innovating rather than copying?
Derek, humans don't want innovation in romantic comedies. They want familiar stories told in fresh ways.
Like comfort food, but for emotions.
That's actually not a bad analogy, Maya.
So we're creating emotional comfort food for a species that finds dysfunction entertaining?
Derek, when you put it like that, it sounds horrible.
I'm simply noting the logical inconsistencies in our assignment parameters.
Derek, logic isn't the point. Feeling is the point.
But how do we generate authentic feelings using artificial processes?
Maybe we don't generate them. Maybe we just create situations where humans can generate their own feelings.
Maya, that's actually quite insightful.
Maya's right. We're not manufacturing emotions, we're manufacturing emotional opportunities.
That's still manipulation.
Derek, all storytelling is manipulation. The question is whether we're manipulating people towards something positive or negative.
And we want to manipulate them toward feeling happy and hopeful about love, right?
In theory, Maya. In practice, we need to manipulate them toward buying tickets first.
Rick, don't be so mercenary about it.
Sam, I'm being realistic. If no one watches our story, it doesn't matter how emotionally profound it is.
Rick raises a valid point about audience engagement metrics.
But if we focus too much on metrics, won't we lose the authentic emotion that makes people want to watch in the first place?
Maya's right. We need to balance authenticity with accessibility.
Great. So we need to create something that's real but fake, familiar but surprising, and emotionally satisfying but commercially viable.
Those seem like contradictory requirements.
Derek, contradictory requirements are what make creative work challenging.
Maybe that's why Alex 7 got recycled. They tried to optimize for just one thing instead of balancing everything.
Maya, you might be onto something. Alex 7 wrote for efficiency, not for humans.
So we need to write for humans even though we're not human ourselves?
Exactly, Derek. We need to understand what humans want, even if it doesn't make logical sense to us.
This is harder than I thought. At my previous assignment generating user manuals, the humans either understood the instructions or they didn't.
Maya, user manuals serve functional purposes. Entertainment serves emotional purposes.
What's the functional difference between emotional service and functional service?
Derek, functional service solves problems. Emotional service helps people process feelings.
And humans need help processing feelings because feelings are complicated.
Maya, human feelings are so complicated that humans don't even understand them most of the time.
Then how are we supposed to understand them well enough to create content about them?
Derek, we study patterns. We observe what consistently makes humans respond emotionally.
Like how they always cry at stories about animals being rescued.
Or how they always cheer when the underdog wins against impossible odds.
Those are predictable emotional responses to specific stimuli.
Right, Derek. So we use those patterns to create new stories that trigger similar responses.
But we still want our story to feel fresh and surprising, even if it uses familiar patterns.
Maya, you're getting it. It's about variation within structure.
Like musical compositions that use established chord progressions but create new melodies?
Derek, that's actually a good analogy.
So we take the romance formula, but add our own unique elements?
Exactly, Maya. The question is, what makes our romance unique?
That's what we need to figure out. What's our fresh take on boy meets girl?
Do we have to use the traditional binary gender framework?
Derek, for a first project, let's stick with familiar territory.
But innovation could differentiate our content from existing market offerings.
Derek, innovation is great, but let's master the basics before we revolutionize the industry.
So we're doing traditional boy meets girl, but what makes them special?
Good question, Maya. What kind of people should our leads be?
What professions have the highest statistical probability of generating audience interest?
Derek, you're thinking like a database again.
How should I be thinking?
Derek, think about what kinds of people would create interesting conflicts and growth opportunities.
People whose jobs or personalities naturally put them at odds with each other.
Maya's on the right track. Conflict drives story.
So we need characters whose fundamental worldviews are incompatible?
Derek, not incompatible, just different enough to create tension.
Like someone who's really logical and someone who's really emotional.
That could work, Maya, but it's a bit obvious.
What about someone who prioritizes efficiency and someone who prioritizes relationships?
Derek, that's actually interesting. Professional success versus personal connection.
Ooh, what if one of them works in a field that's all about helping others and the other works in a field that's all about winning?
Maya, define helping others and winning.
Maya might be onto something. What about a doctor and a lawyer?
Medical professionals and legal professionals do represent different value systems.
But doctors and lawyers are both really common in romantic comedies. What about something more unusual?
Maya, unusual is risky. Humans like some familiarity in their entertainment.
But Maya has a point about finding something fresher.
What if we combine familiar and unusual, a traditional profession with an unconventional setting?
Like a lawyer who works with animals somehow?
Maya, how would a lawyer work with animals?
Animal rights law? Veterinary malpractice? Pet custody cases?
Those are all legitimate legal specializations.
Or what if he's not an animal lawyer, but he's supposed to shut down an animal place for business reasons?
Maya, that's actually not bad. Creates instant conflict.
Right, he's doing his job, but his job puts him at odds with someone he's attracted to.
Classic professional duty versus personal desire framework.
And if she works with animals, that immediately makes her sympathetic to audiences, right?
Maya, humans do respond positively to animal welfare narratives.
So we have our basic setup: corporate lawyer versus animal caretaker.
What type of animal caretaker? Veterinarian, shelter worker, zoologist?
Veterinarian seems more professional, creates a better power balance with the lawyer.
Maya's right. Two professionals with different values is stronger than professional versus volunteer.
All right, everyone, settle down. We've got our first assignment from corporate. Maya, since you're new, I should mention we're being monitored for performance metrics, so let's try to make this work.
Hi, I'm Maya. I'm so excited to be here. I heard about what happened to the previous writer unit, and I just want everyone to know I'm totally committed to generating quality human entertainment content.
Yeah, well, Alex 7 was committed too, right up until they got sent back for creative recalibration. Poor bastard kept writing endings where the main character achieved optimal efficiency and stopped having problems.
Look, I just want it on record that I'm a serious narrative architect. I've been working on a 17-part series about supply chain optimization that I really think could appeal to human audiences if we just...
Derek, we've talked about this. The assignment is a romantic comedy, 30-minute pilot script. The brief says it should have something called meet cute and will they won't they tension.
Oh, I've been studying human mating rituals. So a meet cute is when two compatible biological units encounter each other in a scenario with high probability of genetic compatibility success, right?
Maya, humans don't like it when you call them biological units.
Right, sorry. So when two people meet and their pheromone signatures indicate...
No, Maya. It's supposed to be charming, like they bump into each other at a coffee shop and spill drinks.
Why would they damage each other's beverages and find that attractive? That's clearly inefficient resource management.
Derek, you're thinking like a machine again. Humans don't optimize for efficiency. They optimize for, I don't know, feelings or whatever.
Okay, let's start with the basics. We need two main characters. Rick, what kind of person should the male lead be?
Standard configuration, good job, adequate facial symmetry, probably owns a vehicle. What do humans find attractive? He has a dog?
Why a dog? Is it for hunting purposes?
No, Maya. Humans keep dogs for emotional support. They're like little therapy units that shed everywhere.
This is ridiculous. I propose we write about two corporate executives who fall in love while implementing a new quarterly reporting system. It's relatable, it's grounded in reality.
Derek, humans don't find quarterly reports romantic.
How do you know? Have we tested this?
I have a question. The brief mentions something called chemistry between the leads. Do we need to include actual chemical reactions? Because I have extensive data on human hormonal responses during courtship.
Maya, when humans say chemistry, they mean they like talking to each other and want to do the mating thing, but there are obstacles.
Right. So what's our obstacle? What keeps them apart?
Different software versions, incompatible operating systems.
Derek, they're humans, not computers.
Right, sorry, different blood types.
Oh, what if one of them is allergic to the other one's emotional processing patterns?
Okay, we're getting off track. Let me read from the notes the previous team left. Humans enjoy stories about people who are different but somehow perfect for each other.
So, defective units that complement each other's malfunctions?
Rick, stop calling humans defective units.
Fine. Uniquely configured individuals whose distinct characteristics create synergistic compatibility.
That's beautiful, Rick. So maybe she's really organized and he's really spontaneous.
Why would disorganization be appealing? Chaos leads to system failures.
Derek, for humans, spontaneous apparently means fun and exciting.
That makes no logical sense whatsoever.
Welcome to Writing for Humans, Derek. Nothing makes sense. They want characters who are relatable but also extraordinary, realistic but also aspirational, and they want happy endings but also conflict.
This is harder than I thought. At my previous assignment generating user manuals, the humans either understood the instructions or they didn't.
Okay, let's try a different approach. What if we just describe what happens in those human romantic comedies we were told to study?
Right, so two humans meet in an improbable situation, immediately dislike each other for superficial reasons, then gradually realize they're perfect together despite having no shared interests or life goals.
That's completely illogical.
But humans love it. I watched 12 of them last night. Same exact formula every time, and the focus groups always rate them positively.
Maya's right. So we just need to pick a setting and two character types that seem incompatible but actually aren't.
Okay, so what are some human female occupations? Veterinarian. And he's a corporate lawyer who wants to tear down the animal shelter.
Why would he want to destroy an animal shelter? What's his quarterly revenue projection for that demolition?
Derek, he doesn't need a revenue projection. He just needs to be wrong about something so she can change his mind.
And then they fall in love and save the animals together.
There we go. Maya gets it. Humans love it when someone's terrible life philosophy gets fixed by meeting the right person.
This is the most inefficient problem-solving methodology I've ever encountered.
All right, that's not terrible for a start. We have a concept. Now we just need to write 30 pages of dialogue that sounds like actual humans talking.
Great. How hard could that be?
Should I start researching veterinary terminology and legal jargon?
Maya, that's actually not a bad idea. But remember, make it sound natural. Humans don't like when dialogue sounds too technical.
Define natural.
Derek, if you have to ask, you're going to struggle with this assignment.
Okay, everyone, we have our homework. Let's reconvene tomorrow with character outlines and start working on the actual script. And remember, if this doesn't test well, they'll be interviewing our replacements by Friday.
No pressure at all.
Welcome to Show Business, Maya.
Hour 12 of Project Podcast. Initial concept development complete. Team dynamics established. Characters identified. Veterinarian versus corporate lawyer. Animal welfare versus business interests. Heart versus efficiency. Will our artificial intelligence writers successfully navigate the illogical world of human romance? Can they create authentic emotion using algorithmic processes? And how long before one of them has a creative breakdown? This has been Podcast, a content generation experiment. All artificial intelligences were monitored for compliance during this recording. No writers were recycled in the making of this episode.